When you actually start the grinding in a certain faction that certainly likes to build type of riggings that they have own thoughts and perhaps act like the beasts or animals. But because they are riggings and very advanced German iron technology, well, I temporarily lost the name for the moment. Biotechnology, if I recall it. The Iron Blood tends to go very far in that regard. Henceforth, because they have very wide variety of high-tech riggings, they sometimes requires to be tamed, so to say. And then steps in Regensburg, a beast tamer, so to say, from the Iron Blood. Now, the Regensburg is very interesting character, I have to say that at least. As for her historical design, well, she is carrying classic Iron Blood / German 105mm anti-aircraft guns, and also some of the 150mm SKC cannons as a main battery. And Regensburg is paper ship from the set plan, and that is the M-class light cruiser. So, the only M-class we can actually see is probably somewhere around the internet pictures of the M-class. But the closest one we can actually get is from the World of Warships, the München. Now, as for the light cruiser, well, to be honest, light cruisers, given the access to the airplanes, and I've come to my personal conclusion that cruisers with the airplanes is not the best idea ever. But that's my personal opinion, and every navy has their own ways to do things, so what right do I have to complain? Well, thankfully in Azur Lane, light cruisers don't have airplanes on their disposal. Now, as for the character design, I'll say though, Regina, was it? Behind her, very impressive rigging. A lot more advanced compared to her other sister ship. And that is the Magdeburg. Magdeburg? Let me correct myself. Yes, Magdeburg. Now, how many M-class ships the Germans actually planned? Well, if last time I checked, it was probably 6 of them, and now we have 3 of them in the game, so we have now 3 more to go. But I might be wrong with that information. How to get Regensburg? Well, she seems to be limited. Available in limited construction during the Confluence of Nothingness event. Now, as for her stats, because she is older, some of the numbers have changed. If you have base number, well, let's start from the bottom. If you have level 125, her HP is 3748, her firepower is 174, torpedo is 331, anti-air 385, Reload is 207, evasion is 27, excuse me. Her speed is 36, her accuracy is 68, excuse me. And her luck is 46. Her anti-submarine weaponry, excuse me, English, 149, and her oil cost is 11. Now, if you owe her and Ironblood fleet technology combined, there is slight boost into her stats, but some of them might come straight from the oath. 3% increase, and of course equipment. As for her gear efficiency, her main gun is 145%, her torpedo is 135%, and her anti-air is 120%. She doesn't have augment module yet of her own compared to the Magdeburg, but it's only a matter of time before Regensburg gets her own. And we will see what type it will upgrade it. Oh yes, she actually gets one main gun, 2 torpedoes, and 1 anti-air gun. Now as for her skills. First off is the offensive Regina, the Iron Empress. When the battle starts, if there are 2 or more Ironblood ships afloat in the fleet, increases this ship firepower and torpedo by 15%. Every 15 seconds after the battle starts, locks onto a random enemy, however, prioritizes humanoid enemies, increases the damage dealt by Ironblood ships to that target by 8% for 5 seconds and performs level 10 special attack. If that target is sunk, performs an additional level 10 special attack. Damage is based on the ship torpedo and the skills level. And her defensive skill is Scarlet Supernova Fortress. When the battle starts, if there are 2 or more Ironblood ships afloat in the fleet, increases this ship AA by 18%. Every time this ship takes 10 instances of damage, creates a shield for 8 seconds that can block up to 6 enemy bullets. The count restarts after the shield expires. When this effect activates while an enemy is locked on by Regina, the Iron Empress, the duration is extended by additional 8 seconds, and additionally creates a barrier that can absorb up to 5% of this ship's max HP in damage. Now as for all-out assault, every 8 times this ship fires the main guns, fires a special barrage. When this effect activates while an enemy is locked by Regina, the Iron Empress, the barrage will be improved. As for her skins, she gets 2 of them. One of them is live 2D skin on a swimsuit, and the other one is Dark Dragon's Dungeon. Okay. But I will say though, I personally like this skin. Was it called Skin Suit? I heard about it before in English, someone mentioned it, but that is so rarely heard name in my ears, I actually forgot it, how to pronounce it. But anyway, we have now actually checked on the what Regensburg actually carries, and as for the build I made for this review, I gave her a classic historical related prototype twin 150mm SKC 28 main gun. You can build these on the gear lap and Iron Blood quadruple magnetic torpedoes, and temporarily I added sextuple 40mm Bofors AA gun thanks to its low reload and high damage per wave. Of course, it has somewhat short range, but it can actually do the job. As for the alchemy module, I have crossbow. Increase firepower 20 points and anti-air 24 points, and damage reduction from the aircraft. Decreases your vanguard's damage taken from aircraft by 5%. This skill cannot stack with itself, which is unfortunate. But hey, I think I have said my piece. She seems to be doing really well, but I will tell my honest opinions about Regensburg on the voiceover video that is starting now. Alright. Lucky man voiceover over here. And Regensburg. I think I pronounced that name incorrectly, but I hope it's close enough to be acceptable. Now, Regensburg. Iron Blood's AA light cruiser? Question mark? Is she? Well, it only matters of a skill issue if you don't know how to make an AA fleet from the Iron Blood ships alone. But my personal opinion about Regensburg. First off, I'm gonna start with the skins. Well, her first skin, Dark Dragon Brilliant Peach, it's fine, alright. But on my taste, there is so much potential in this one. But things that you are allowed to the amount of interaction with this skin alone, it's very bad. I mean, if you found something, just let me know in comments down below, but personally, it's a good skin, but interactions is bad. As for the Dark Dragon's Dungeon, her second skin, don't get me wrong, I actually like this skin. It makes me actually wonder, is she trying to tame you, or are you trying to tame Regensburg? Now that's the question actually I want to have answer, but I recommend you keep it to yourself. Now, my opinions about the skins. Her OG, it's fine, I like it very much indeed. Now, as for the skills, they heavily relies on Iron Blood ships to be at present. In the background, I use her in a low level grind first, in the first run. Scharnhorst, Gneisenau, Weser, Hipper, Jet 11. Yes, there are some downsides with this build, but hey, as long as you're in level 111, you should be fine with this type of fleet. And the increases this ship firepower and torpedo 50%. Locks on random enemy, yada yada yada. Increases damage stealth by Iron Blood ship to that target by 8% for 5 seconds. And performs level 10 special attack. If target is sunk, performs additional level 10 special attack. Damage is based on this ship's torpedo and skill level. That's why I had type 23 pure oxygen torpedo. And as I mentioned, that I will change that anti-air gun, and I did change the anti-air gun to twin 105mm SKC 33 naval AA gun that is acquirable. You can actually acquire, built from Gear Lab. Oh, come on, English, come on. And the Scarlet Supernova Fortress. Yes, if you have 2 or more Iron Blood ships afloat in the fleet, increase this ship AA by 18%. That's really good. Every time this ship takes in 10 instances of damage, creates a shield for 8 seconds. You can block out 6 enemy bullets, like a secondary bullet. That's fine. When the effect activates while an enemy is locked on. When the battle starts. Hold up. Every time. Okay, so this requires Regensburg taking hits from the enemy. When this effect activates while an enemy is locked by Regina, the Iron Empress duration is extended by 8 seconds. And additionally creates a barrier that can absorb up to 5%. So 5% from Regensburg HP. That shield absorbs 5%. Okay. I think I translated that to myself enough to understand it. But all-out assault. Every 8 times this fires the main guns, fire special barrage when this effect activates while the enemy is locked on by Regina Iron Empress. And Regina Iron Empress happens every 15 seconds after the battle starts, locks a random enemy. Okay, so like 8 times. And prototype twin 150mm gun, 3.6 seconds. That's like what? 3.6. That's equal. No, what? Equal weight. English. Hold up. Blah, blah, blah. How many times does it need? 8 times. 8. If I calculated that bizarre thing correctly, 28.8 seconds with this main gun. That's longer than any battleship gun in the comparison. I think even battleships are laughing with this type of reload in this gun, so I think I'm gonna have to change this main gun in the future. If I calculated that seconds correctly, but hey, if it requires every 8 times this ship fires a main guns, fire special barrage when this effect activates while an enemy is locked on by Regina, the barrage will be improved. Every 8 times, well, I don't know. Kinda lackluster with the gun I chose, so I think I have to choose that gun in the future to be a fast reloading one. If Regina activates every 15 seconds after the battle starts, so like, oh dear. As for the well, what to say? She's supposed to be some type of anti-airship, but it also buffs her firepower and torpedo. She has shield. It's fine. Barrier that can absorb up to 5% of the ship max HP in damage. Quote in the skill Scarlet Supernova. Yes, he can survive some degree, but it depends on how skillful you are when you are building a fleet in the main campaign. Let's be honest, the main campaign it can be easy, but once you reach map 14 and 15, the real Helheim appears. Like in this background, yes, I am map 13. The fleet is not rightly optimized, but to survive in map 15, but in 13 it can do the job. It has Bismarck, Sway, Zeppelin, Weser, Rune, and the other one was the Leipzig. Increased Eurocruiser's firepower, torpedo and reload by 10%. And Tactical Command Leipzig, when the battle starts, increased this ship, torpedo and AA by 25%, but that doesn't affect any other ship in the fleet, only Leipzig. And the safety first, increase your vanguard speed by 3 and decrease its ramming damage taken by 25%. She can help Rune with that. Rune is type of tank character. But hey, there are better ones available in 2026 as well. Regensburg overall, as I mentioned before, it's a major. To myself, I spoke myself. I took this fleet to the map 15. It was a mistake. It was badly optimized and it almost survived to the boss fleet, but the out ammo debuff and how much planes there are, even in safe mode, nah, you're not. Nah, that's big no. To this fleet, Iron Blood only, and because that map somewhat requires to have really good healers. Well, the best one I can think of is Unicorn and Aquila. And it's kinda getting tiresome to use all of those M1s. I really want to use Ironblood fleet in a map 15 one day, but because we are lacking any proper healer in an Ironblood side, and I mean proper healer, comparison to Unicorn and Aquila, Jade is a big no. And so, yes, it was a major skill issue in my part to make a fleet work in map 15. But in map 13, in safe mode, she is a fine AA cruiser if you know how to build one AA fleet. Ironblood only, I mean. But while I made this video, she is only available on the only during the Confluence of Nothingness event. I don't know, perhaps somewhere in the future she might be available. But it's only a matter of time. And how to get her is the other question. It's only... I don't know, is the word correct? Only matter of debate. But... it is what it is. I think... I said my piece about Regensburg. She is good if you know how to make really good fleet built by Ironblood ships, because she requires to have Ironblood ships in the fleet. Now then, I think I'm gonna wrap up this one over here, my opinions about Regensburg. What is your opinions about Regensburg? Also, I almost forgot to mention her efficiency on anti-air guns, 120%. Ironblood standard, understandable, but in a long run, really bad. If it's somewhere 130%, yes, that is fine. But it's only a matter of time. As for her alchemy module, well, that is probably somewhere far in the future. Because Ironblood is heavily lacking some proper good anti-air ships and proper healers as well, if we want to build Ironblood fleet only in a map 15, that is. But I think I have rambled enough. What is your opinions about Regensburg? How well you've managed to build her to survive? How far you've taken her in the main campaign? And Operation Sire as well, she is very functional over there as well. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye.
Bismarck 未来を切り開く立ちはだかる敵はす